Subject, Nimue, age 28, eye color, green, height 6'1", weight 200 pounds, race, unknown, skin color gray, tattooed, distinct markings, whole body tattooed gray, 3 cuts on left cheek, scar on right shoulder, ID number 4573636, status solitary confinement, IQ 157, education level, college graduates, Princeton, UCLA, Stanford. Masters in Behavioral Science, Bachelor in Psychology, Masters in English Literature, first degrees, threat level 8.
Observation notes. Use extreme caution. Inmate isn't physically violent, but is extremely manipulative. Guards advised to distrust all that is seen and heard. Ear and eye protection required. Feed and leave. Absolutely no interactions. Physical illnesses, none. Mental illnesses, clinical sociopathy, depression. Medications, trioxapramine, tricliclid antidepressant modified, lithium, monoamine oxidase super inhibitor. Side effects, fatigue, blurred vision, drowsiness, lethargy, muscle spasms, seizures, nausea. Treatments, behavior therapy, psychotherapy, regular sedation. Blood type, AB positive. Abilities, memory manipulation, perception distortion. Notes. Inmate has shown to have the ability to alter the memories of others. This ability has been proven to fluctuate in power from person to person. Persons with high levels of intelligence make it difficult for the inmate to manipulate memories. Inmate can alter the perception of anyone within a 2-mile radius. This ability also changes with low levels of intelligence, though the inmate does not struggle with multiple targets. If adequate ear and eye protection are secured, inmates' abilities have little effect. Charges: murder in the first and second degrees, 7 charges. Grand larceny, 4 charges. Rape, 5 counts. Fraud, 5 counts. Kidnapping, 4 charges. Domestic terrorism, 1 count. Sentence, death penalty. Dietary restrictions, no peanuts. Institutional occupation, none. Restricted. History: born on Omni Tenebris 4, Nimue is among those in the blessed line of Nin, who through their ancestry inherit special gifts. Those around Nimue all say that ever since he could speak, Nimue was a manipulative and cruel kid, often pitting the elders against one another, as well as other children. Nin's children are given talents that always mirror the recipient's personality. Since Nimue was born a clinical sociopath and always relished in deceit, his abilities spawned accordingly, granting him memory manipulation and perception distortion. These abilities were apparent as early as age 5. Starting with those closest to him, his family, Nimue began using his abilities to get something as simple as second portions to something as dark as cold-blooded revenge. Marlon, yes, a fellow youngling of Omni Tenebris 4, was found impaled on mining equipment after falling over 70 feet seemingly by accident, following a fight with Nimue over Hex Pass, a game played by younglings involving marked stones and dice. Due to his mother's political influence, he was cleared due to lack of evidence, but the local suspicions lied with him. 9 years later, several females would be found beaten and invaded, but they could not recall what happened nor who did it. Nimue's own father was found broken and dying after falling over 30 feet. His last words were chilling. "I thought it was there." Naturally, most thought this to be an indication that Nimue had used his abilities to lure Nimue over a cliff to his death, a theme that would repeat itself over the years. At the age of 17, Nimue began getting involved in racketeering and fraud schemes, using his abilities to cover the tracks of several criminal organizations. It was during this time he would be embroiled in the death of the Grand Priest's son, Asmaeus. 10 years later, another one of Nin's children gained the ability to project the intentions of others, sealing Nimue's fate, and finally imprisoning Omni Tenebris 4's most dangerous criminal.
Synopsis: Inmate too dangerous for the Amaris Creed. No planetary conglomerates willing to buy inmate. 3 research companies willing to pay for inmate's brain. Possible profit made from research. Must find a way to transport ID number 4573636 to Sector 7.
Sigma DEFCON Station 9. Recipient, Director, Adiel. Subject redacted. Sent from redacted. Director Adio, it has come to our attention that a particular inmate, Nimue, inmate number 32, has shown telepathic abilities that our industry would find most useful. Upon inmate 32's death, we would ask that his brain be exhumed and that he be executed in a manner that would least damage the brain. We are willing to pay 1,200 pound neodymium magnets and provide Region 6 with multiple gadolinium-based elements for magnetic research. Our military branch will be contacting you with further details. Sigma DEFCON Station 9, recipient, Director Adio, subject redacted, sent from Epsilon 11. Director Adio, we write to you from the grandest sector, Epsilon 11. We offer medicinal astenine stabilized for use in curing compartmental tumors, adenocarcinomas, and melanomas in the use of targeted alpha particle therapies for the exchange of inmate 32's brain for our research purposes. We also offer 2 years in our genetic inhibitor for the good director. Our lead scientist will be in touch with further details. Sigma DEFCON Station 9, recipient, Director Adio, subject redacted, sent from Pragnus. Director Adio, we gift you with 20 of our finest slave women and 100 slave laborers for the exchange of inmate 32's brain. We are willing to exchange the slave laborers for soldiers if needed. You are only to speak to the men of Pragnus in this matter. Any discussions with the women will automatically be omitted from the written record. Our elders will be in contact with further details. Sent to redacted. Subject redacted. From Director Adio, Alpha Sigma DEFCON Station 9. We have spoken to your military branch and have agreed to your conditions with one of our own. We ask that you transport ID number 4573636 to Sector 7. We have it in good authority that one of your labs is located within the region. Inmate number 32 will expire by way of SHD, sudden heart dissonance, so that the brain will remain intact. The brain will be held in stasis for delivery. Your aid will be necessary for transport to Sector 7. Rendezvous point redacted. Temporal Assault 1. Dr. Amal Orlean proceeding with surgical procedure. Notes to be written by attending nurse as preceded by law.
Temporal Assault 1 begins construction.
Inserting frontal lobe stent. Brain still stable. Slight uptick in adrenaline levels. Frontal micro flowing into neurotransmitters. Altering attention and concentration. Attention and concentration altered to max capacity. Self-senses completely eliminated, now controlled by the user archive. Organization skills altered to max efficiency. Ability to speak eliminated. Motor planning and initiation improved beyond capacity. Awareness of abilities intact and improved. Awareness of limitations lowered, now used by the user archive. Personality limited. Mental flexibility altered beyond capacity. Inhibition of behavior limited by the user archive. Emotions eliminated. Problem solving improved. Planning and anticipation improved beyond capacity. Judgment completely controlled by the user archive.
Synaptic cleft communication altered.
Parietal lobe stent inserted, brain still stable. Parietal lobe microprobe flowing. Increase in acetylcholine. Monitoring. Sense of touch altered. Spatial perception abilities increased to maximum capacity. Differentiation intact and improved. Visual perception improved. Brain activity stable. Stabilizing. Stabilizing. Stable.
Synaptic cleft communication altered.
Brainstem stent inserted. Brain stable. Brainstem microprobe inserted. Breathing eliminated. Arousal eliminated. Consciousness altered and controlled by the user archive. Heart rate ceased. Sleep and wake cycles altered, controlled by the user archive. Temporal lobe stent inserted. Brain unstable. Stabilizing. Stabilizing. Stable. Temporal lobe micro flowing. Memories altered by the user archive. Language comprehension improved and altered. Sequencing altered and improved. Hearing improved. Organization skills improved beyond capacity.
Synaptic cleft communication altered.
Cerebellum lobe stent malfunction. Brain unstable. Stabilizing. Stabilizing. Stable. Cerebellum lobe stent inserted. Microprobe inserted. Balance improved beyond capacity. Skilled motor activity improved. Coordination altered and improved.
All lobes replaced by the user archive relay system.
Biosynthesis, usually found in plants, has been altered and reimagined for Temporal Assault 1's limb movement. The multi-step enzyme catalyzed process will be used to substrate and convert simple compounds into synthetic compounds, which will join and form micromolecules using metabolic pathways, which will keep Temporal Assault 1 intact and capable of producing reliable compounds when needed. Beginning weapon stability process, brain connecting to outer frame. Connection failed. Attempting reconnection. Connected. Base width 4 meters. Base height 4 feet.
Primary weapons: reality distortion, mirages. Ability to manipulate memories lost. Terawatt energy grenades. Analysis: Temporal Assault 1 ready for competition.
Dr. Orligan, I have read over the reports for Temporal Assault 1. I am very impressed. The religious part of me shudders at the concept, but the military man in me stands in awe at what you created. Opting for deception and strategy over raw firepower. Most would just overload their opponents with sheer might, but you know as well as I do, winning a war takes more than might. It requires strategy and patience. It's not the weapons that win the war, it's the men behind them. And with the user archive filled with 10 of the best soldiers our planet has to offer, we can't lose. Finishes an older, portly man with strong, firm arms, a dark complexion, and as many battle scars as medals hanging from his chest. Thank you, Admiral Cabal. The reports have been sent to Central, and Temporal Assault 1's home planet is currently unaware of Nimue's current state, just as ordered, sir. I have uploaded Temporal Assault 1's knowledge of psychology and behavioral science into the user archive, but we must remember this knowledge only applies to humans and men. Other species will behave much differently. The alloys will give our weapon above average defense, as well as requested communication links to Sector 7 are being monitored. Answers a tall, bald, slender woman with a metal cranium and tattooed gray skin. If only you could handle a weapon as well as you handle a scalpel, Doctor. Your species develop gifts. It won't be long before the children of Nin discover what you have done. And when this occurs, you are to follow protocol. Are we clear? Shaking slightly, Dr. Orlian answers sternly, yes, sir. Upon discovery, I am to terminate all evidence at all cost. I am to terminate my life. Admiral Cabal smirks while hitting stones from the orbiting moons. Now, Doctor. Frankly, I have grown quite fond of you, but your record is against you. You were sent here to be punished, not to linger in your achievements. I will make every effort to see that your death is painless. Enough with this talk. Tell me, have you any news of this year's competition? With a sadness and emptiness to her eye, Dr. Orlian answers, yes, sir. The Cruorcon is scheduled for the Prime Magma's next cycle. Our entry complies with all terminate standards. We are in Bracket 2, Class 3, Archetype 1. The victor in this year's tournament will receive the conquered planet Nimbilla as their prize. We are still currently waiting for intel on other combatants. Regulations allow us to learn the number of entries, but not any specific details. This year, there are 6 entries, sir. Using the heated orbital stones, Admiral Cabal hits a pipe full of lunar leaves and takes his place at the head of the table. Let's not forget why you're here. You're no hero, Doctor. What you did to those elders is incomprehensible. The experiments you enacted upon them are unspeakable. Let's hope you fulfill your sentence before self-termination. I wouldn't want you to take the easy way out. You're dismissed. With an indignant look and a hopeless demeanor, Dr. Orlian takes her leave and is quickly bounded by containment units before exiting the room.